Johno Benner is our first port of call today, and we're going to chat to him about Windspell and Scott Base, and he joins us on the phone now. His second go on the Punters Lounge. We had him on before the first Group 1 of the racing season, the Tarzino, to chat about Windspell and Scott Base. He's back for round 2 this morning. Good morning, Johno. How are you?
Morning.
How's things been around home since the first Group 1 with these two horses, Windspell and Scott Base? Have you noticed improvement with them both?
Yeah, definitely. Look, obviously, after their first day runs, they could probably only go one way, and they have. So they'll present in good order today. Obviously, they've got good draws to work with, which is, in my opinion, a very, very big part of winning Group 1s and decent races. You need good draws and good runs. So, yeah, we're pretty happy.
1,400 metres in the Tarzino for Windspell. Talk to me about what you expected going into the run, and did he exceed your expectations?
Potentially exceeded our expectations a touch. Obviously it was just a little bit tough to get a line on him through his trials. He's a horse that probably a slow 7, dead 6. That's about as bad as he'll go on. Obviously the track was a little bit off that day, but he still ran really, really well. And as I say, it was a little bit of a surprise to see him finish that close, as 1,400 was going to be well short of his best. But he's done really well since the run too. 1,600 is real appealing for him. And then obviously the 2,000 will be even more appealing again. So no, he's going really well.
What about the first couple of 100 metres for him out of barrier number 4, Johno?
He can be a bit tardy from the barriers. I think in order for him to be potentially winning this race today, he's probably got to sit a little bit closer. He jumped very clean the other day. If he can do that again and get a beautiful run, sort of 4th or 5th, something like that, I think that's going to be key to his chances. So he's got a good draw to work with, good jockey. So I'm picking he'll be in the first sort of 5 or 6 anyway.
What about Scott Base? Were you pleased with his first effort in the Group 1?
Yeah, sensational run. He probably is where he's coming in on a pretty lightish preparation, just the one trial and then sort of 10 days into that race. But look, he was good late, very good late. Frustrating those little biases that they present there on the first day. It's becoming a bit of a habit, but he was able to run a little bit against that bias and make up some good ground in what was the slow part of the track. So if it's racing fair today, he should get back just a little bit worse in midfield with some cover and going to give Vinny some options. And look, whether he's winning or not, he'll be charging late.
How do you see the race unfolding, Johno? I know that you always have a look at the form. What do you make of the pace in the race? Is there enough pace for a horse like Scott Base to set off and run over top of them?
But probably not on paper. But then in saying that, he's Scott Base. Look, he's done some pretty incredible things. He's won a couple of races pretty well, off moderate tempo. So look, probably not a concern. We'll just ride our race. There's probably not a hell of a lot of speed in it on paper, but as long as it's moderate, look, he won't be too far off. He can get away clean. He'll be sort of midfield, something like that. And as long as he's within 4 or 5 swinging in, I think he's capable enough to be making that sort of ground up.
Are you more confident with Scott Base than Windspell, as the market would suggest?
Oh, look, it's tough to split them. Obviously, we're just wrapped to have two horses in the Group 1. It was good each way claims. Obviously, hold Scott Base in some pretty high regard. He's a horse we've had the whole way through. And look, if he's we've got some pretty lofty goals for Scott Base. So look, if he's where we need him to be, he's got to go pretty close here today. So, as I say, whichever one wins or whichever one runs well, if they both run well, will be wrapped either way.
What's one race with Scott Base that you would love to have on the mantelpiece?
Oh, look, it's something in Australia. Obviously, probably a Cox Plate, but look, it's not. It's a bit of a lofty goal, I suppose. But look, if he can win today and then potentially go again in a couple of weeks and do the same thing, it'd be silly not to go and have a go. Someone's probably got to run second at Wimps. Humidor nearly pushed, nearly got her last year, and look, Scott Base is not too dissimilar to Humidor. So, look, why not have a go? Obviously, the next couple of runs will tell us where we're at.
Johno, to you and Holly and the team, good luck today. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.